Hello there, this is Louise from Manchester. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to do a plant unboxing, but before we get into that, I'll just give a little bit of background to people who might be new to my channel. I like to grow lots of different types of plants, so not just ornamental house plants like the calatheas and Monstera andersonii, chlorophytum. I also grow a lot of tropical fruit and try to grow tropical vegetables as well outdoors. So I'm an indoor and an outdoor plant hobbyist with a variety of likes, so I don't just stick to one type of I'm not into just one type of plant. I like all kinds of plants. I like gardening outside, my roses, and I also am experimenting with tropical plants outside, growing musa-basjoo, alocasias, and standard, garden vegetables and typical herbs that you'd grow in the UK. So that's a little bit about me. And the reason I'm doing this plant unboxing today is these plants I've been looking for and trying to get hold of for a long time. Back in, I think it was 2018, I started noticing on my Instagram and YouTube you get lots of plant tubers referred to you, so it's something that you might be interested in watching. And one of them was a lady called Amanda, who has a channel. I'll put a link in the description below, and she's called Plantarina, her channel, and she has so many different types of plants. I think she's based in Los Angeles, California, somewhere like that in the US, and obviously they have better climate, and she has a huge house, but her plants are fantastic. So do recommend going to watch her channel, and I've subscribed to her channel ages ago, and I got to see different types of plants I'd never seen before. And after watching her channel, you get other plant tuber channels referred to you, and I started watching all these different ones, and I came across what they call rare exotic plants, and they were mainly aroids that are grown in South America. A lot of these plants very, very expensive. There was a big sort of craze of which are still, well, it's still ongoing, for variegated monsteras and various variegated aroids, which way out of my league. Much as I like the look of them, there was no way I was going to be paying hundreds and hundreds of pounds for these plants. And there is a YouTuber who's based in the UK that I follow. Her name's Kaylee Ellen. You may, if you're into rare plants, you probably know her, and don't need me to advertise for you. She has a rare plant shop, and she has all kinds of rare exotic plants, which are not necessarily rare in the wild where they grow, and usually they're grown in places like South America or rainforests of Indonesia and places like that. There are lots of aroids that are grown in these countries, and not necessarily variegated ones, just normal plain green ones. And some of them I came across so striking, and I wanted one for a long time but I couldn't afford it. So during the past couple of years, you keep watching, and slowly the prices are coming down on these plants. Excuse me, my throat's drying out a little bit. I'll just have a sip of my brew. So a lot of these plants, the prices have come down now, so they're more affordable for me. As I say, not necessarily affordable for everybody, but I'm prepared to pay around about £20 for a cutting. I don't want to go further than that. So because I'm new to growing rare exotics, I'm not new to growing plants in general, I've been growing them for a long time, but these exotic plants, you know, you could easily spend a lot of money on and they just die on you, you know, because you've not got the experience of how to grow them. So I've took a gamble, and on Sunday I went to see a young lady who lives in Manchester. Well, it's part of Greater Manchester, 20-minute drive from where I am. She has an Etsy page, and I'll put a link in the description below. And I was looking for the Philodendron micans, and I'd seen various cuttings on eBay where they've just got like a single root and a single leaf, and they were quite expensive, and I wasn't really sure, you know, should I get one that's not fully rooted, because I don't know if you've seen my previous videos. Some of you may have seen the Philodendron micans that I got back, I think in May, and that was a single leaf cutting and it had a single root, and I put that in leca and it just completely rotted. It was an aerial root, I think, that had turned in, well, supposedly was going to turn into a root. It never did. I didn't pay much for that. It was like £5, but hey, £5 can be a lot of money to, you know, some of us who are, you know, you might be on furlough with this pandemic, so, you know, you've got to be careful about spending your money and you know, not wasting it, you're pouring it down the drain basically. So I was a bit wary. I did want to get the Philodendron micans. It's a beautiful plant. So Emily, with her Etsy page, I actually inquired about it on a Facebook plant swap group, and her details were on there as having Philodendron micans. So clicked on her details, and then she sent me through Messenger, she sent me a link to her Etsy page as well. So she did have a couple of cuttings available, and rather than wait for them, you know, to be posted out to me and I pay the extra postage, I said, you know, you're not far from where I live, can I just pop down, you know, socially distanced. I wore my mask and I had my gloves on. I had the money in the bag with sanitised, you know, made sure it was all clean. And I'll just get to the plant and I'll show you what I got. So this is Philodendron micans. It's a little bit, you know, sort of, the leaves are a little bit small, but I think that's probably maybe the position it was growing in. Might not have had enough light. They are tricky ones to grow because they don't like too much light, and then they don't like to be totally, you know, away from light. So it's getting the balance right. And I'll just show you the roots there. So Emily said to keep it in water for about a week or so just to get it acclimatised, and I'm hoping I don't get any root rot, and that the bottom roots will start to produce you know, like little white, I don't know if you can see there, there's a little bit of the ends there. I just want those to develop some new white roots, and then I will pop that in very simple coir. I'm not going to do a mishmash of lots of different, you know, compost. I'm just going to put it in something very simple to get it rooting properly, you know, new roots basically. It's got roots there, but, you know, I could do with a bit more. As you can see, there's a new leaf on there. Sorry, it's not in focus. So you can see there's new leaf coming out here, and that's a good sign, shows it's healthy. And once that leaf's unfurled and it starts to produce more, and I've got a couple more roots growing in there, then I will pot it up. So I'm very pleased with that. Philodendron micums, or Hederaceum, I think it's called. I think, you know, they go by different names, these, but Philodendron, Hederaceum, or micans, and it's very lovely, velvety, soft leaf, a deep sort of mossy green. Just sort of bring it up to the camera. Now the leaves will get bigger than this if it's grown in the ideal conditions. So you've got to have the right humidity, not too wet, the compost not too dry. They are very fussy, but it's a vining plant, and I do like my vining plants. And this is varies in price on the market. I've seen different sellers selling just unrooted cuttings for say £15, and I got this from Emily for £6.50, which I think is great. You know, it's a decent size, lovely new growth coming out on it, and it's got roots. You know, it's not just aerial roots, there are proper roots on there. So fingers crossed. I hope, you know, I can get this to grow and thrive and get the right balance of conditions for it. So that's the Philodendron micans. So I'll put that to one side, and then I've got some plant mail that just came today. So I got that on Sunday, today's Tuesday. So I waited for this to arrive because I'd already ordered this, and let's get to it and see what we have. So it's from a seller also called Louise. I think she's in Beckenham, I'm not sure if I've got that right. So there's some paper, got some polystyrene in there. It's labelled fragile, the box is labelled fragile, so hasn't been squashed, hopefully. I'm just going to, oh, I think she stuck it down, so let me just do the box this side. She's got my scissors. Oh, right, yeah, she stuck it down. Well, I have to rip the box open. Making a bit of a mess here. Should have got some scissors, but never mind. Let me just show you. Plant stuck on there. Just very carefully remove the sellotape, hoping all is well. Have to bear with me while I, oh, right. So this is a Philodendron verrucosum, and when I first saw this, I can't remember whose channel it was. It might have been on Kaylee Ellen's channel. It could have been, there's so many people I subscribe to on YouTube. Many people have got this. Oh yes, there's a lovely lady in the US. Her name is Rachel from Heart Shaped Leaves, and yes, I think it was her channel that I first saw this on. And she grows her, well, most of the people have these indoors. Very few people are going to be growing these outdoors unless you're in a tropical climate. And Rachel from Heart Shaped Leaves, she has very good videos where she explains what she pots them up in, what kind of humidity, lighting, etc. And her plants seem to do great. You know, they thrive. So I'm not sure if I can emulate those same conditions, but this is my very first Philodendron verrucosum, and these are rare tropical plants. They're grown in South America, I think places like Ecuador, Peru, jungle areas, understory plants, so they don't get full-on sun. They're not out there in the blazing heat. They are growing understory, as in they're growing at sort of, say you've got the leaf trees of the canopy above, and then you've got these plants. I'm not sure if these actually grow right at the bottom or not, but they develop very, very big leaves, and I presume they grow up either the side of a tree. They like to have support on them. So this little guy, or little bit of leaf damage on there, and I'll just show you the back of the plant. Has these little hairy, they are known for these little hairy leaf petioles, and look at the colour on the back of that. It's gorgeous. And so we've got a little baby here, so I'm just going to unwrap the roots. Hopefully the roots are not damaged. She's wrapped it in foil. I just carefully take this sellotape off. She's got some moss around the bottom of there. So I might just keep this moss, and just because I've watched a lot of channels before I got this to make sure that I don't kill it off outright. Some people continue to root these in moss, so this is not a fully rooted plant. She sent me a picture of what it looked like, so this is what I was expecting. There's two little roots there that are developing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that moss and put it in, say, a little, so maybe a glass like this with the moss at the bottom. Maybe, I'm not sure. Or I might get a net pot and just have a little bit of moisture there, because my fear is of rotting these roots, and I don't want that to happen. So that's what I'll do, is retain this. This is just fairly damp. I'll just maybe spray mist it with some water and put it in a little glass or container. Make sure there's air getting to it as well, because your roots need air to develop as well as moisture. If there's no air, then you're encouraging rotting to set in, and that's my biggest fear. So I'm glad to see this plant's also got a new leaf forming there. Now this plant, if it was a fully rooted plant and maybe had a couple more leaves, they're roughly going for about £50 to £60. So to buy a plant like this, you've got to really want one, and I'm a beginner in terms of growing these type of rare exotic plants. When we say rare exotic plants, we're not saying that they're rare in the wild. It's just rare to get in the UK. You won't see these in the normal plant nursery. If you go to a garden centre and you've got your tropical plant section, you'll see your calatheas, and you'll see some monsteras, etc., and the silver pothos and the golden pothos. You'll see all those, but you won't see these. You will not see these in the shops. Maybe in a year or two the price will come down, but I managed to get this off Louise, who I'm not sure if she's got an Etsy channel. I'll check to see where she sells from, but the I've lost my train of thought there. Yeah, the price of this was £18.50. I think it was it £18? So I think that's pretty good, you know, for a decent sized rooted, you know, although it's not got full extensive roots, there are roots forming there and they look healthy. £18 is pretty good, really. You know, I think that's my opinion, and I'm prepared to pay that. But I would not go full, you know, full on buying, spending £50–60 on a plant that I don't have a lot of experience growing with. So I'd rather start off small and see how I get on. Then if things, you know, touch wood, I don't lose this plant, but if I did lose it out, you know, I think, well, you know, I've not spent a huge amount, not spent hundreds of pounds on plants. I know some people do, that's fine, you know, that's their choice, you know, it's their money, do what you like with it. I sort of have to maintain a balance between how much I spend and what I'm prepared to lose, you know, because you've got to be prepared for that, you know, with buying plants from anywhere, that you will lose them to insects or root rot. These are the main reasons why plants die. So if you've got anybody out there who's watching who's a bit more experienced in growing these and would like to give me some tips on how to maintain this, and this Philodendron verrucosum and the Philodendron hederaceum or micans, please let me know in the comments below. And hopefully in the future I'll be doing some more videos about myself, actually, about my link to, frequently I mention Bangladesh in my videos and what my links are, you know, why I'm interested in plants that are grown there. So if you'd be interested in watching that, please make a comment below, and hope to see you soon. So if you'd like to click the like and subscribe button and share with your friends, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.